What is up, Whale family? This is Nytmare bringing you Hang Time, where we talk NBA Top Shot, the market, fantasy basketball, and all things hoops and hype. Hope you guys are hype after a interesting night in the NBA Finals, where the Deer District and Giannis took it back to the Suns and showed some life. So the NBA Final Series is now 2-1, and I gotta say, I love the way that Giannis can show just dominant post power moves and then come down the court and just finesse it with Euro steps and these slick fadeaways. It's really an awesome sight to see. And, quite honestly, it certainly helped that Devin Booker was really cold for this last game. So I think we're going to get a series. I think we're going to go 6 or 7 games, which is awesome to see some really unique and cool basketball from some homegrown talent as opposed to just these super teams that have been thrown together. So as far as NBA Top Shot goes, we had talked last time about the market. It hit this low that we hadn't seen for quite some time, about $500,000. Fortunately, since then, it elevated back up to about $1 million in sales volume. And we've seen that's tapered off a little bit, but still not back to that low. We're at about $750,000 and still some sales volume to come in today. So I would expect that this sales volume increase that we're seeing has to do with the qualifications that they had set for the rare pack drop that's coming up this week. So we'll take a look at that, but that's likely what is driving that. And that's a good thing. That means some of this incentivization that they put in place, some of this gamification for the packs is helping the overall market. And relative to the overall market, the whale vault has rebounded a bit. I believe last time it was around $27 million. So we're nearing back to $29 million right now. Again, this is very, this has a lot to do with just the low liquidity of some of the particular moments. So if one seller puts something out there and it goes for, a deviation from the norm, it could impact us significantly. But again, because we hold so many very rare legendary moments, such as jersey numbers, such as number ones, for the most part, we're going to stay continuing to be in this very good range relative to our initial investment, which was about, I think, $100,000, $150,000. So an amazing more for us. And as we continue to expand and NBA Top Shot continues through various seasons and onboarding a lot more investors, that's going to be a great hold for us. A lot of people come in and ask, are we actively looking to move in and out of stuff? Not really, but should the, situation present itself where, there was something that would complete our collection and really round it out, we would take a look at it. And we do have a group of market analysts that have been stood up and are continuing to do great work, but NBA Top Shot will be part of what they look at, I'm sure. And so in related metrics, you can see that the base Series 1 has steadied. That had been showing some sales volume decline as far as total value goes as well. Base Series 2 had been sustaining, and so both of them had a slight uptick. But interestingly, we've continued to see this uptick here of users. So about 4,000, 5,000 new users since we last took a look at it. So that's good in that, the mission here is to onboard new people. Now, obviously 5,000 isn't a huge amount, but it's an additional 1% versus what we have now. And I'll remind you guys, Dapper considers Top Shot to be a beta product. And so they're not going to roll out their maximum efforts from a marketing and onboarding perspective until they feel they have everything in line and in really good shape to do that. And so we talked about this pack drop that's coming up this week. We have a rare pack drop, and then there were 4. So for the conference finals, it's going to be $79 for this pack. There is only 6,000 packs that will be available. And this is going to drop on Wednesday, the 14th. And this will be the first use of the tiered queue system that we had talked about. So relative to that, it's a little bit confusing when you get into a lot of the specifics, but this is why we had the stress test over this past week. They wanted to test how it could work with various qualifiers and then, stepped queues that went, I believe it was every hour, right? There was one at 6, 7, or 8 or something like that. And so now they're going to actually implement it for this rare pack drop. So it's going to be based on your collector score, what queue you could get into. And there's some specific drop bonuses that are available for this one. So if you rounded out your favorite team, you get a 50-point collector score bonus. If you have spent, the ratio relative to marketplace spend versus buy, again, like that was in the last time that was available, that's available up to 7,500 collector score points. And then, the 9 Lives Lounge, another 10,000. So there's 3 collector score tiers, right? You can get into each of these queues if you hit any of these qualifiers. So the first tier is 100 collector score, which is really easy to obtain. If you qualify for that, you can get in queue and score one of the 2,000 packs. There are going to be, I believe, 370,000 people that would qualify for that based on what they're holding and what the bonuses are. So you have a chance, but very low odds, but you still have a shot. Someone's going to land it despite not having the greatest collector score, and that'll be a great story to share on socials. Then also the next tier, 5,000 collector score. If you have 5,000 or above, you have an opportunity to get in queue for 2,000 packs. With the bonuses, there'll be about 28,000 collectors that qualify. So, with 2,000 packs, you can figure out the percentage, but again, a low percentage opportunity, but it's an opportunity, and you could get that concurrent with the previous one, meaning you can go into the first queue, you can go into the second queue if you qualify for both. And then the final one, 10,000 collector score. 10,000 collector score. Man, that's going to be challenging even for some really ardent collectors. But again, if you have that, you can get in queue for another 2,000 packs. And with the bonuses, that would be about 10,000 collectors that would be eligible for the 2,000 packs. So a 20% chance. So these are going to come at different times. The first queue is going to open up for people with the highest collector score at about 1 p.m. Eastern. The next one 2 hours later, 3 p.m. Eastern. And the final one, 5 p.m. Eastern. Will I get involved? Sure, I will. And you're going to know very quickly with only 2,000 packs whether or not you should stick around. So I'll have a puncher's chance. I don't think I would qualify for anything beyond the first tier. But that's okay, right? That would be quite the story. I hope one of our communities that does not have the qualifying collector score can get in there and score something. That would be a great story. Then also, wanted to just call out that they were actually pushing that first tier as a way to onboard people. They had this communication come out, how to qualify for the rare drop. Buy your starter pack and then pick a favorite team and get 3 of the moments. So they're trying to use this to entice people that aren't already in Top Shot. Hey, jump in, grab a pack, grab a couple other players, get involved in this rare pack drop, which is cool because I actually had friends that were interested in Top Shot. And at the time, they weren't taking new users for some time, and then they would, and it was kind of off and on. And when they did have a chance to get in, what they saw was, the rare drop, and they couldn't qualify, and it was exorbitantly expensive. And so this is a good way to bridge and maybe entice people in. But I just found it interesting that they were specifically, marketing for that purpose there. Also interesting this past week, the quests that they've been making available. If anyone's not participating, and I'm not in particular, but they'll have something like rebounders or the highest scorers grab 7 of the top 10 highest scorers from the game last night. And if you participate and you do the quest, you get entered into a drawing for 500 playoff packs, as well as 10 legendaries and 50 rares, which is very cool. These are going to be delivered after they do the legendary pack drop, which I believe is for the finals. So you're going to be sitting on it for a little while, but they will take a snapshot and you'll get an entry into that giveaway. They also alluded to on Twitter here, keep the finals quest showcases together for potential prizes after the finals. So, maybe there's potentially more coming. We'll see what else they have in store, but they seem to be, reaching for some different opportunities for people and for community engagement. So that is definitely pretty cool. And they did also announce a new badge, which was unexpected, championship badges. So players and moments on teams for that particular year where they won a championship will get an additional badge. And I'll just run the promo video that they had dropped so you can check it out. So cool stuff, some added value and some unexpected stuff. I don't think anyone knew that this was in the pipeline as far as the community goes and would be out soon. So it was definitely cool to see that. And then this was something we were discussing within our Top Shot community room here on the Whale server. They also announced this cool NBA Finals experience. It's going to be limited to who can actually, win this and take part, but very cool stuff. They're going to reward the existing fandom of a team. So this is why I like this in particular. Okay, they announced that they're going to reward people that were super fans of the Suns with an opportunity to go to an NBA Finals game, Game 5. And there'll be 8 winners chosen that'll get 2 tickets, airfare, accommodations, meet and greet with NBA legends, VIP shopping sprees, like a crazy experience. But this was not to sell Top Shot. This was to people that were already part of the Phoenix Suns fandom. So I had already done the snapshot when they announced this. And so essentially for every 250 collector score points people had of Suns moments, and they got bonuses for stuff like having Suns as their favorite teams and things like that. They had an entry into this, this very cool drawing. So I like this because it wasn't to sell Top Shot. It was to reward the existing community and fandom. And like we talked about in the Top Shot room, we can envision something next year maybe where at every arena, maybe there's some VIP perks that are available if you're a Top Shot collector and you have, a certain amount of moments from your team. You can scan a QR code or however they would institute it. And likely not to this level, right? Like a specific suite, but maybe there's something additional that you can partake in. Maybe you score an NFT when you go. There's so many different opportunities. So it's great to see them leveraging this and thinking outside of the box on how they could make the experience more 360 degrees for people that are fans of the products. And then, the existing challenges that are going on. Don't know anyone that's super hyped about these, but hey, you may want to score Chris Paul. FYI, this is finishing up tomorrow, so you have about 1 day to complete it. If you want to, I think it's about $165 to complete the challenge for this Chris Paul, and the John Collins is about $84. So obtainable if you want to do these challenges right here. Feel free to go forward and snag these guys if you're fans and you think it's worth your while. A couple of things I wanted to mention that I heard during office hours that were of interest to me in particular. They did mention that there's going to be possibly some quests involving players in the Olympics. So, the USA men's basketball team, there may be some quests associated to stuff they're doing. You guys know I'm a Tatum fan, so, I'll be all over that. The team lost to Nigeria this weekend, by the way, so they got to get their act together. But granted, they're trying to find some chemistry or whatever. But we definitely want to represent well. We have a legacy to uphold there. What else was important from office hours? I did like that they mentioned that the new Run It Back packs that they will be dropping, and I think it's going to be in the off season, it's going to go further back into NBA history, right? So way beyond the 2013, 2014 season. Maybe we'll see some cool early 2000s, maybe some 90s moments. I don't know. I hope they go way back into the archive eventually, which hopefully they will. One other thing of note, people were pretty upset over the past week when they noticed a bunch of packs were going on the Explorer to Josh Hart, who's an NBA player. He got sent like 5 holos, 12 rare packs, 12 commons, and they finally disclosed that it had to do with him coming on board as an investor, and so that was part of his compensation and be able to promote and do some different things. So there was some clarification there, and kind of the noise quieted down. I did find it interesting. Speaking of Josh Hart. Here's the USA. Here's my boy Tatum. I did find it interesting, speaking of Josh Hart, that he had this little back and forth with a Twitter user who said, "Can't wait till he releases his money grab." And he came out and said, "Actually, I'm gonna drop 10,000 middle fingers and make sure I gift you one. Whoever thinks my interest in the NFT space is insincere." And sure enough, today he did. Just for the minting cost, you could snag one of these. They went in like 5-6 minutes. I actually had thought about it, but was doing something else and said, "Hey, is this worth running over here?" So I did not. But again, this was just for the minting cost. He flipped this just to say, "Hey, I'm in this space for the long haul. I believe in the NFT community and I'm part of it. So this is a big FU to the people that said I'm here for the cash grab." So pretty cool that he did that, if for nothing else, just symbolically to say, "Hey, I'm one of you," right? What else? There is this interesting on Nifty's Space Jam drop. So if you haven't seen this, supposedly you could go to this site, you can set up an account, and for free, you can snag some of these cool Space Jam NFTs. And there's different tiers: common, uncommon, rare, epic, legendary. All you have to do is sign up to claim the first one, share to claim another one. You can buy one for $3. They look really cool. I have been trying to sign up to this thing for like 2 hours. Like, I think the site's being bombed and is having trouble handling it. So I tried to do it manually with my email address. I tried to do it connecting my Twitter, and as you can see, it's still just trying to authenticate. I've tried on different browsers. Hopefully you guys have some better luck. So head over to nifties.com. Give it a try. All you have to do is sign up. These are very cool looking NFTs. So hopefully I'm able to score one. And it looks like, I believe I saw a count. Here we go. It looks like they have plenty left, right? Like nearly 70,000 left. And that's probably because there's probably 70,000, maybe 100,000 people trying to get it, but the site just won't process it. Malene is able to score some. I'm super jelly. But yeah, go grab those if you hadn't. And then on a related note, the First Mint, our friends over on the First Mint are dropping their NFT project that we had discussed some time back. That's actually dropping tomorrow. There's 2 versions, a black and a white version, and both of them include like a cool OG t-shirt with their old logo with the pink and the basketball and the purple and whatnot, and exclusive access to their Discord. So you can check out the details if you want. It's kind of along the lines of, the NFT gated community. And we know that the First Mint does a lot for the NFT community, but Top Shot in particular. And it looks like they're going to pivot a little bit and do more NFT focused stuff. So if you're interested, there's an opportunity. I think it's 0.1 ETH. And if you're not big on that, there's also an opportunity for your friends or whomever that are involved in Top Shot but don't have a MetaMask or whatever. They can also buy it via credit card, I think. So there's a fiat option as well. So that was pretty cool. I did want to mention that the Whale DAO proposal, I think, is under some additional ruminations. Justin has been working with the crew, and they're working to fine tune it. There's a positive appetite. It seems like now people are well aware from the discussions everyone's had on office hours and on whale hour. So I think you guys have some great momentum. Hopefully we see that come to fruition soon. And when it does, anyone that's a DAO holder, I would ask that you please consider it and see how we could further leverage this. I think there's also been some good ideas shared on how we can leverage it also to further Whale and some additional opportunities that way. So great stuff coming from you guys. And then what else did I have? Oh, that's right. I saved my playoff pack to rip with you guys, right? So snagged it last week. Let's see if we can get a good cereal. Let's get some Joe Boos into the chat room. Let's see what we can get. So I'm not going to open this until I see some Joe Boos. I'm waiting. Watching the chat and waiting for you guys. All right, we got a couple. I think we're good to go. Not a bad pack, aside from my actual playoff moment. With that being said, I will need some tickets. I think they alluded to in office hours, November being the targeted time frame for when they want to release the reserved Series 1 packs using the trade tickets, whereas the pseudo burn and then they take them and can put them back out. So that being said, there may be an opportunity then to score some really, really, really valuable Series 1 cards. Mask Kawhi does look like a beast. All right, so let's take a look at the community comments questions. What are you guys collecting this week? What are you talking about? Likes the Buff asked, does the Whale Vault account try to buy all the packs that drop also? It does not. Whale Shark was fortunate enough to get in when the product was very early and there was no restriction on the packs. So we were able to buy dozens of legendaries at a very low cost at the time. Like I had said, I think our total investment was $100,000 and now it's worth 30 million. The ROI is not the same now, right? You're talking trying to get a 3x, 4x, 5x, and anyone knows from listening to Whale Shark, his investment thesis is to aim for home runs when it's opportunistic, and that's not right now. But the community initiative is to leverage the Whale Vault collector score, which is astronomical. I think it was, millions, so that we could get into every really exclusive legendary drop. We could also use that for a lot of things that could require cool moments and rewards for the community, like when there's challenges, or even when there's some of these daily fantasy sports, right? There's a lot of opportunity there. We could leverage that portfolio. But are they actively buying? No. Would they opportunistically if there was something that made sense? Yes. For example, I don't remember what it was called, but there's a tier above legendary that have just been reserved for auction. These are super, super exclusive moments, and when those go to auction, that may be an opportunity for Whale to get involved, whether that's Whale Shark directly or it's us as a DAO deciding, hey, we need to get, I think someone in office hours had mentioned Whale Shark is a huge Steph Curry fan, right? Maybe that's the one we have to go after. So there is opportunity going forward, but it will not be the same opportunity like it was early, where we were fortunate enough to have the foresight and the fandom, quite honestly, to take a position. I think in addition to those initial packs that we bought that were legendary, also very early in the marketplace, they went hunting rare legendary Series 1s that were up for sale for really low value, like, $500, $800. People were putting, hollows up for very cheap prices, and we scooped as many as we could off the market. So collectively, I think it was somewhere between 100 and 200,000 initial outlay for that $30 million. Esoteric is advocating the reasons that the DAO proposal will be good. I definitely think it will be, and I also think it sets the precedent. You guys are kind of building the framework for some more community initiatives. A lot of the existing proposals have been relative to operations within Whale, and not so much how to use the existing assets, whether that's for purchases or, like we're trying to do here, community enrichment. So I think you guys are doing something far beyond the scope of just for the Top Shot community. You're really setting some precedent for Whale itself. So kudos to you guys. I know you guys are big collectibles also. Any avatar projects that need to be on my radar this week? Where do you guys snagging? Someone had mentioned to me earlier that there's a an all female, an all woman um, profile pic avatar project that was dropping, and I haven't had the opportunity to look at it, but that certainly sounds interesting. That could be promising and cool to support that. And staring at the chat, it does make me a little bit jelly that I don't have a profile pic from an avatar project up. I might throw my whale up. I don't know if you guys recall. I hopped in this little whales project just because of the namesake, right? It'd be a disservice if I participated in any and it wasn't that one. It just wouldn't be right. Thank you, Tigbo. That's so saying hashtags. Hashtags. Interesting. I did see, there's been a rekindling of interest. I've seen a lot of people on different communities talking about UFC in particular over the past week. And I don't know if that coincides with the McGregor fight or if it's just coincidence, but I think there's certainly an uptick in interest for it. I'm interested to see how are they going to market this, just because I think without a team, so to speak, um, if it's just relegated to the stars, that's going to be a hard product to have people to hold on to a lot of the moments, I would assume, right? There's a lot of ebb and flow when it comes to success for individual fighters in UFC. Obviously, a lot of the legacy people have huge brand recognition, but that would be the equivalent to a run it back. So I'm interested to see how they're going to deliver that. But I think if they do it well, it could be a knockout product. Thoughts about the championship badges? Question from Feria. I think it's a cool add-on. I think anything to add some, differentiation can be cool, especially if it's a banner year and it's a special moment. Just like in regular collectibles, we don't want to get inundated with so many badges that it devalues and mitigates the enhancement that the existing ones have. But I think there's room for stuff like that, MVPs, Rookie of the Year, badges like that for sure. I see people saying that they enjoy the marbles game with Rude Moose. Yes, I like to hop in there and make nonsensical commands and see if someone follows it. That's like my own personal game, right? Everybody's typing boost, and I'll throw out blue turtle shell or something, which obviously is a joke, right? It's a reference to Mario Kart, but I love it when I see someone else do it. That makes my night. Oh, someone's asking me about, Tigbo asking me about the mint or the cost for the first mint NFT. It's relative. I don't know much about the objective over there, and maybe it's to fund an initiative and stand up their organization so they can do more with NFTs. And I don't know, I really don't know the objective, but it's all relative, right, to what the value is to people. And if they're going to gate more of their content to that community, it could be worthwhile for some people. Any word on what's happening with Swish? I have not talked to Theo in some time. I'll reach out to him again. I think I did near the tail end, but he was busy. I do know that he was interested in some kind of amalgamation of fantasy sports and a DAO. I wasn't quite sure where he was going with that, but he had his sights set on something a little bit bigger. You do get some physical items with the first mint NFT. You get a T-shirt that's a throwback to their initial logo, right? That's resonated with people for some time because now they've kind of rebranded, and I think they're going more in the direction of general NFTs at some point. So you get that, the Discord invite, and I'm sure there's other things that will be involved as well. Yeah, I mean, guys, listen, it's not, I don't know all the ruminations behind it and why they're doing it, let alone the mint size, right? It's so $200 times 500 mints, it's 100 grand. If that's standing up in an organization that they're staffing for a year or what, like I'm not really sure, but to some people, it definitely has inherent value. Oh, easy! You were the able to score the Space Jam. I'm getting jealous of you guys, man. I'm gonna have to try that again for sure. Likes to bluff. I'm in the same scenario. Are you? What browser are you using, by the way? Are you guys are giving me FOMO? I'm getting some serious FOMO, and also, I'm getting some serious throwback vibes to my mother coming home with Looney Tune themed clothing and all kinds of neon and strange colors when I was like a tween. My matching Marvin Martian sweatshirt, my green jeans, and my shell toe Adidas. Looks like Chrome's been successful. I've been using Chrome as well and not having the success. That being said, I do have about, I don't know, 20 browser tabs open, which is pretty typical for me. Thanks for the props on the interview with My World, Tigbo. I had a lot more to ask him, but he's got so much to share that we didn't get to all of it. But I'll definitely have him on before his actual drop so that we can get through some of the more nuanced details. I find him to be a really talented and interesting dude, and I haven't seen a lot of opportunity to delve into all that makes him him, right? Like a lot of the stuff I had prior to My World, I don't think a lot of people were aware of that. So it was definitely cool to be able to share that and get that out there and set the precedent that this guy's a beast of a talent, humble, just likes to, present himself the way he does and do what he does. And, he may not acknowledge it, but he's making major contributions to the audio NFT scene right now between the Song Camp project he did, what he's doing with Connie. I mean, like some of that stuff's insane, absolute bangers. And even if you listen to the stuff that he said was his old throwaway demo stuff, it was insane. It was super talented. And now he's in a spot where he's just being creative and throwing stuff out there. But, like you said, he's sitting on a lot of material. The coaster situation, I have no comment on. Staking for Top Shot moments coming soon. I'm interested in that. What are we going to be rewarded with? Flow? Moments? I don't really know a lot about what the methodology would be for staking the moments, and how that would impact the market, right? Like it would drive up scarcity because there'd be less that would be on the open. But it depends on how they use it. There's a lot of question marks there for me. PB&J. Yes. And guys, I had alluded to last week about something new that I'm working on to bring you guys. I'm big on collectibles. I know you guys are too. I'm working on something new and unique for our server that kind of hasn't been done before, a new kind of focus. I think you guys will really enjoy it. I had a meeting earlier today, so I don't love making announcements about announcements, so I'll keep it light. But just know I'm working on bringing some new cool stuff for you guys and new opportunities that are hard to get elsewhere. So working on it. Tigbo, can I get on the books for next week? Absolutely. I thought you were on vacation for a month. I thought you took a permanent siesta. I want to know where someone that lives in South Florida goes for vacation, actually. Milene coming through with what looks like the secret to getting through and actually scoring these NFTs. So I better jump on that before all of you guys snag the remaining 70,000 and leave me with nothing. I'm joking, obviously, but if that happens, I'm going to be heated. That's very cool, Tigbo. We're still just kind of, up here. The Northeast has been probably the last to reopen, so we're still relatively cautious. And so we haven't done any traveling that significant. We went to the Cape personally with the family, which is just, a couple hours ride. Yes, I'm getting stuck there too, guys. All right. So sounds like you guys are figuring this out. So I better get off here and make sure I score my NFTs before you guys take all of it. By the way, there's a lot of hate going around for this new Space Jam already. I don't know why. I think it's just people with nostalgia that have a hard time seeing something different. But I'll give it a shot with my little guy. Although he still gets his sports terminology confused and thinks they're scoring touchdowns or whatever. So it'll be another one of those animated movies that I'm watching for me under the guise of his interest, just like Sonic, just like the rest of them. You guys have a good one. I will see you in the community. Take care.